What's up, friends? Today we are making creme brulee. What you're gonna need is a half cup of sugar, 5 eggs or just the egg yolks, 2 cups of heavy cream. You could use light cream or half and half, a teaspoon of vanilla and an 1/8 teaspoon of salt. So let's get started. So we're gonna start by preheating our oven to 325. Once you've got your oven preheating, you're going to want to set your stove to a medium to low heat, add your heavy cream and salt, and let that sit on the stove till it's just simmering. You don't want it to boil, but you do want it to simmer. Once you have your cream mixture sitting on the stove and it's heating up, you're going to want to separate your eggs. So you can separate these right into the sugar itself, and you're only going to want the egg yolks. So as you can see, I'm using my hands, but if you have a better way of doing it, please feel free. So you're going to crack those eggs, separate the white from the yolk, and put the yolks right into the sugar. And from there, you're going to want to whip it so that it's nice, light, and fluffy. And we're going to mix until it's light and fluffy. As you can see, I switched to a whisk. It turns out that using a whisk to make the egg sugar mix light and fluffy was actually the best way to go. So you're going to mix, and you're going to see when it turns into that light and fluffy texture. And oh no! Vanilla. That semi-fail you just saw there was after taking the cream mixture off the heat. You're going to want to mix in the vanilla. Once that's done, you're going to take a spoonful of the cream mixture, put it in your fluffy egg and sugar mixture, and mix that up. So the reason we're only doing a little spoonful of it is because we don't want it to cook the egg yolks. So you're going to really, really well incorporate that until it's not so hot or warm anymore. Once that's done, you're going to take the rest of the cream egg mixture and you're going to put it into the cream mixture that's on the stove. But again, make sure that it is off the heat. And you're going to want to get that in there and get that mixed up really, really well. Next, we're going to take our ramekins, put them in a baking dish that's a little bit bigger than it, and we're going to fill them up with what's going to turn into our creme brulee. So this recipe is enough to make about 4 servings, and they don't really rise, so you're more than welcome to fill those up all the way to the top. Want to get some boiling water. You can see that's boiling there. If you don't have a kettle, that's okay. You can just boil it on the stove. And we're going to bring it over and fill our baking dish until it reaches about halfway up on the ramekins. Once it's halfway up, we can go ahead and stick these babies in the oven. You're going to want to bake them for about 40 to 45 minutes. What you're going to see when I take them out of the oven here is that they are still going to be a little bit jiggly in the center, which is okay. Once you remove them from the oven, you're going to separate each individual one and cool them on the counter until they're just cool enough to put in the fridge and you can handle them with your hands. Then you're going to put them in the fridge at least 2 to 3 hours or even overnight, just so that they're cool enough so that we can then put the sugar on top and get those bruleed. Okay, once your creme brulees have cooled, you're going to want to sprinkle the top with sugar, but not a lot, just enough to kind of cover it. So you just get a little spoonful up. It's okay if you drip some, you can spread it around kind of like that, and then we torch it. Now we take our blowtorch, we get that all pretty and caramelized, and believe it or not, this was my first time making creme brulee, which is why I don't have an official blowtorch tool, and I'm using that one. That's the sound you want to hear, that crusty, crusty sound. Ah. Oh my gosh, it's a really good creme brulee. We did it!